before we get into what you think, let's talk about what I think, because it's my show, all right? Guys, the story tonight is offense wins games, defense wins championships, okay? It's just that simple, all right? Yet another game we are seeing 30-plus shots from our opponents. Yeah, we got 30-plus shots. We actually outshot Calgary. I feel like offensively, okay, Toronto played the way better game. Calgary's chances just converted, you know? That guy Riddick on the other end there, right? That's his name, Riddick, right? He played a sick game, man. Toronto runs into hot goalies a lot because a lot of goalies want to prove themselves against a guy like Austin Matthews, against a guy like Mitch Marner, all right? So just deal with it. Suck it up, all right? That dude played a sick game over on the Calgary end of things, okay? He faced more shots, more outrageous opportunities. That goalie was on fire tonight, literally, you know, which suited the fact that he was a flame, all right? All right, he was flaming hot tonight. So that's what happens, you know. You can't outscore your problems, okay? This is what happens when you can't, because goals come and go, all right? Goals come and go. There's two types of goals, right? There's goals that are pure talent, offensive awareness, just in a league of your own, know how to pick a perfect shot, know how to perfectly deke through somebody's legs. All that real skill stuff, all right? That real technical skill stuff. There's that type of goal. And then there's a type of goal where as a team, you break down the other team defensively or offensively until they're scrambling around and you've got a wide open net to pop it into. That's the other type of goal. And here's the thing. The first kind, dry up. Okay? You cannot have that type of goal every night. I don't care if you're Austin Matthews. I don't care if you're Connor McDavid. Not all your goals can come from, you know, a toe drag snipe shot, right? A power play one-timer from the opposite wing, all right? Those goals are beautiful, but they dry up. You face a hot goalie, what do? Okay? They were facing a hot goalie tonight. What did they do? They just kept throwing gasoline at him, right? You can't beat a goalie who's hot like that with pure offense. It won't work. It won't work. What you have to do is shut down the other team first, okay? You have to shut down the Flames. See, what happens is Toronto, and you saw this a lot last season and the season before and stuff. So I was really hoping they got away from this. They weren't playing like this at the beginning, but they've seemed to have gone back to it a little bit. Okay, where they didn't get the first goal. Oh, boo-hoo! You didn't get the first goal. Who cares? Suck it up, Buttercup. Right? Like, you're the Toronto Maple Leafs. You're an offensive dynasty. You don't have to. I guess not dynasty, but you're an offensive powerhouse. You don't have to worry about one goal against the Calgary Flames, but they do. Whether they should or not, those guys in their heads, they worry about a one-goal deficit early in a game like that. It haunts them, much like it haunts most of you guys. Maybe not most, but some of you guys are still haunted by stuff like that, right? See what happens when you can't let it go? They didn't let it go. So they played more offensively. They got even better chances, and more of them. But what were they doing every time? Sacrificing defense. Now, they could take that risk against a team like Calgary tonight, because to be honest, with how many opportunities Calgary had, they should have won that game like 7-0. But they didn't, because they're not a very good team. They had a hot goalie who robbed us of a win tonight, deservedly so. Sometimes your goalie can steal it for you, and he did. That's all that happened in terms of the first and foremost problem, okay? They just got robbed a lot. But, you know, you can't rely on those offensive type of goals all the time. You need to be able to break them down. You need to be able to shut Calgary down to the point where they feel like all their efforts are wasted. They're frustrated. They can't. And meanwhile, you're not even sweating because you're not even at full capacity yet. That's what you got to do against. You literally have to extinguish the flame before you can proceed. Okay? Because if they had done that, if the Leafs had done that, right, put up the wall and stopped Calgary from feeling good with all those shots. If they had done that, Calgary starts to stress. They start coming apart in front of Riddick. And then Riddick is doing everything he can perfectly. And now they're still giving up crazy like 2-on-0 opportunities. Or they're getting crazy one-timer angles because all the defense is collapsing around them. That's how you beat a team that is getting a lot of shots on you. You got to shut them down first. And they didn't. So there it is. You know what I mean? You can't outscore your problems all the time. All right? And defense wins. Defense wins. It's not pretty, guys. You know, from a viewing standpoint. Oh my god! Oh, sorry, I just saw it now. Stinger, chug the bottle. All right, got that one in. So straight up, right? Like it doesn't matter how much offensive opportunities you get if you don't shut down on the defensive end, right? They're gonna have a mental edge of feeling like they're still with you. You don't want the guys on Calgary to feel like even for a moment they can hang with you. You can't have that. These are professional athletes. The reason why some athletes are better than others is because they are mentally prepared, more so than physical prepared, than their peers every night, or more nights than not. You know what I mean? A guy like McDavid is as good as that because mentally he feels like he can do anything most nights. That's half the battle right there. Okay, and then the other side of that is the obvious, you know, actual physical strength and skill, right? I'm not knocking the guy on any of that. He's still the man for a lot of that stuff too, right? But you can't let Calgary hang with you. And the problem is every time that Toronto was getting offense, so was Calgary. Theirs was just weaker. And I'm not going to blame Hutch. I always blame Hutch when he loses. Honestly, most of the games I've seen him play, when he loses, it's usually his fault for at least some of the goals. I don't know about the third one. I wouldn't say it's his fault necessarily, right? But the first two definitely are not his fault. You cannot blame a goalie for a tip-in. You can't. You can't. That first goal went in against Hutch, and I was like, oh, here we go again, Hutch. Here we go, buddy. I was really hoping you'd be better. Then they show the replay, right? What happened? Oh, Tavares tipped it. So it actually would have it was going in a line that probably would have hit Hutch right in the knee. He had it, but it shifted 6 inches to the left. That's all it took. 6 inches to the left. Trust me, right? That can be a big deal sometimes. And all of a sudden, it's going off his like inner thigh and squeaking through, and then somebody was there to bang it through. It actually didn't even go in from that shot, right? Like the Calgary guy had to come along the crease and bang it in. So I mean, you can't blame him on that one. And then the other one, he had it again. Hutch was like this. It was coming right for him. Someone gets a stick up, right? It was Kachuk, wasn't it? That jerk. Hey, he got us that night, right? Exactly. Lauren knows what I'm talking about there. But he got a little bit of that tip. Boom. Down the right corner. And you could say, oh, but other goalies get those kind of saves. Trust me, more times than not, when a goalie makes a sick save off a deflection like that, it's because they were already going the wrong way, and it just by fluke got tipped into a sweet spot to make the save look amazing. More times than not. All right? Because you're supposed to be square for that shot that's coming. If it gets tipped at the last second, man, you know what I mean? That's not his fault. So I was actually quite impressed with Hutch. I hope that he keeps this up. I hope he gets even better, perhaps. That'd be nice. You know, I would like to see him. I'd like to see somebody on our team look like they're a legendary goalie. People always think because I stick up for Freddie Anderson that I'm calling him like a legend, that I like consider him the greatest goalie of all time. No, I do not. There's about like 5 or 6 other guys I would take over him in a heartbeat right now. If it means winning a cup, I would. But I'm just saying that you know, he's not bad. He's a great goalie. In fact, he's like just underneath those guys. And you don't need the best goalie in the league to win you a cup. You don't. All right? That very rarely happens. It's got to be a team thing. So whoever mixes best with the team, that's what you want. Right now, Freddie, you know, has been doing well for it. It's a shame he wasn't playing tonight. Even Riddick is not supposed to be Calgary's #1 guy, right? Who's their #1 guy? I forget now. But they both pulled him out, right? That's what I got on my phone, that both goalies were getting pulled before the game started. Injuries on both sides. Like, you know what that is? That's straight up one coach either, I don't know, like they might even call each other and just be like, look, all right, my starter's hurt. He can play tonight, but I really don't want to. Is yours hurt too? Does he need a rest? I really think something like that happened. Or at least one of them had the guts to just be like, you know what, my guy needs a rest. And as soon as the other coach, and I don't know which one started it, but as soon as the other coach saw that in the lineup and was like, oh, all right, then we can chance our backup tonight too. So certainly with all the injuries and everything too, guys. I mean, like, there's a whole bunch of stuff. It wasn't just the defense tonight, like the defensive play that cost them the game. We need our boys back, man. It's becoming a whole like infirmary of guys just laid up in beds, right? Like, what's going on, man? Right? We need our boys back. So hopefully we get them all back soon, and then you know, then this team can start feeling whole again, right? It's okay, guys. You're gonna have. It's better to get these injuries out of the way now, right? Because if everyone kind of gets them throughout the season, then at least if all of ours are on one spot right now, You know, hopefully the hockey gods will come through for us and say, you suffered enough. Now it's other teams' turns to be injured and stuff. I mean, think about all the teams that have been affected by COVID and we haven't been. I mean, so, you know, knock on wood here, right? But like straight up, like, you know, these injuries, we got to just deal with them. So hopefully the boys will all be back soon. Anyway, so that's it. You know what I mean? I don't feel like they played too badly. They really didn't. I'm not mad at how they played, right? But they had a lot of offensive chances. They looked amazing on offense tonight, and then they just couldn't put anything in the net. Hot goalie. You can't play like that, right? Some guys, they like feeling the shots. When they start racking them up, those goalies start to feel invincible, and then they mentally believe they can do anything. You don't want that. If he starts standing on his head early in the game, you need to pull back. Okay? Start getting a lot more dump and chases going and stuff like that. Play a down and dirty, gritty, boring game. Okay? Silence those dudes. Let them feel like they're falling asleep now too. Then you kick it back into high gear, right? So, yeah. So that's where I'm at with all that stuff. Again, we'll be back at it again soon, and I'm sure it's going to be awesome. But, you know, I've said my piece. Now I'd like to hear what you guys are saying, okay? So I'm going to try and jump back into the chat. You guys have been going crazy all night, so I've missed a whole bunch along the way. But I'll try and pick up from where it's at the top there, all right, guys? Guys, I've said this on the channel before, but in case you're new, I want to say it again. I really appreciate all the love you guys continue to show me, and I hope you'll still treat me like the John Scott of YouTube. Keep sending me higher and higher just to upset the big boys. Seriously, I don't mind mixing it up on your behalf. So subscribe now, man, and let's keep this thing rolling. Do it.